Hello, welcome Solex Nation. A few weeks ago, we came back from an incredible trip to the Mexican Riviera, our incentive trip for this last year. We have another trip that everyone is earning right now that we are going to go on next year, and this is to the Caribbean.
Yeah, and some have already, we have a few people that have already earned it.
Yes, we do.
They've earned the trip for one, some have earned the trip for two.
Yep.
So we're flying into this, and what happens, so we've done a couple of these, we're on to our third incentive trip.
Yes.
What happens every year is people get close to the deadline for qualifying, which June, if you haven't qualified by June or within the month of June for your first month, it's not possible to qualify.
Right, you have to have your first month qualified by June.
Okay, so what are we talking about qualifying? Let me just take a few minutes and just kind of go through some high-level details. But before I go through the high-level details, let me tell you that there is a trip tracker that is in your back office. It's a downloadable file. It has too many words on it with all the fine print to try and instruct you on how to use the tracker to track your progress, to see how you're doing. Are you making progress towards earning this trip? All right, with that said, recommend just downloading that and following it. You know what, I track, as a business owner, it's important for me to get in and look at the performance of the business, not just once a month, not just every few months, and not just looking at the commission we get, the revenue we build. I look at all details, the major details of a business every day. There's rarely a day that passes that I don't look at the performance of the business to see where we're doing. Are we on track, month over month, year over year, things like that. It's important. You're business owners. If you're here as a QLA, it's important for you to look at it. I don't care if you have one person underneath you. You still have somebody to engage with, to track and to follow, as well as your own efforts. Okay, that said, off the soapbox, let's talk about performing to earning the trip. What are the key initiatives? Well, if you're looking at just recruiting and just building your business from directs alone, how do you do that? Well, you maintain what you had as of September or the end of August 2024. That's your baseline. And in each back office, there's a baseline where you know what your starting point is.
So if you didn't start until November of 2024, your baseline would be 0 because in September you didn't have anyone under you.
Yeah.
That's your baseline.
Correct.
If you had 5 people on September 1 that were active, that is your baseline.
Yep. So there you go. So let's use those examples. If you, so in order to earn a trip for one, you have to have a net increase of 15 people above your baseline. So if your baseline was 0, you have to have 15 people added to your directs in the 12-month period, and you have to have that for 3 months. Does it matter if it's the same 15 people or different 15 people over those 3 months? It doesn't matter. It could be different people, or it could be the same people. Whatever works, you need 15 people above your baseline. So if you have been here for longer and let's say your baseline was 5, that means your target is 20, right?
The 5 plus the 15.
5 plus 15 is 20. And so you have that for 3 months. Again, they could be different people to make up those 20, but that's what's earned you the trip. Now there is icing or ease in this process.
Yes.
When you rank up, when you break a new rank, or your directs break a new rank, during the 12-month period, you get credits toward the 15. Now that's an interesting thing because those credits apply to all 12 months. So let's say you earned between you ranking up, your highest rank and your directs ranking up their highest ranks. Let's say you had a benefit of 5 credits added to your performance. So if I was 0 and I had 5 credits added, that means I need 10 more people, right? Bringing the total to 15.
Yes.
If I had my 5 people that I started as my baseline and I had credits of 5, then I only need
10 more people
to get to that trip for 1. Now the trip for 2 is 25. So let's not get too confused in this. Let's just say we're looking for 15, a net increase of 15, and a combination of bringing people on and keeping them, as well as helping those people you bring on rank up if they're QLAs, or you ranking up by breaking a new rank.
Can this be confusing? Absolutely. Does the worksheet walk you through it? Yes. So if you download that worksheet, and we suggest doing that every single month, download a worksheet for each month and keep that updated so you know exactly where you are in tracking this trip. You know, I was looking around the room on this last cruise, and most of the people on that trip had ranked up or had someone directly under them rank up, which is what helped get them to that cruise. So those credits are so valuable.
They are. That was a good ad. I think it helps balance out the entire effort. Now, we're in the month of April. In the month of April, if you want help trying to get to 15 people, a net increase, we're adding something to help you bring people on. If you enroll somebody new with a bundle and a subscription, that person during this month will automatically get Blue. That's a product that's just free. They get it for free, and you can use it as an incentive for them to sign up during this month, and that helps boost your numbers toward the incentive trip.
That's right. So that's a great little incentive for you to help bring new people on, and something for you to talk about with new people. Maybe someone who doesn't quite understand frequencies in the scanner will understand something like methylene blue, like a supplement. So it's a great talking point. Okay, so Amsterdam Day of Discovery is right on our doorstep, and we just want to let you know we still have a few room blocks left. So if you are coming to Amsterdam and you need a place to stay, the hotel that the event is going to be taking place at, we have room blocks. We will put the information, it's in our back office, it's not in the back office, it's on the Solex Global under events. Just click on events and then find the Amsterdam Day of Discovery, and the information is there to make your reservations.
And if you're not already excited about coming because you have a ticket, let me tell you about, we have presenters, we have education, we have surprises, it's a 2-day event, it's totally worth the time.
Yep.
If you're on the fence and there's tickets left, you can get the ticket and come and join us. I mean, for a lot of places in Europe, I think it's only within a couple hours flight that you're there. Come join us, it's gonna be a great time.
It is gonna be great. All right, let's do our top enrollers and our contest.
Hey everyone, we are here to do a couple things. We want to talk about the rank advancements for this month.
For March.
And let's go ahead and show those who rank advanced. Wow, everyone, that is a great accomplishment. That's 3 months of consistent hard work.
Yes. And one step closer to earning the incentive trip to the Caribbean.
And we wanted to highlight a special achievement this month. We had a new platinum, and that is Marianne Ray. Congratulations, Marianne.
That's no easy feat.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
So okay, so we also want to do the top enrollers, and this is for the week of April 7th through the 13th. Now, who got second place?
So our second place winner is Cheryl Shear.
Congratulations, great work.
Yes.
And our first place is a very familiar name, and that's Paige Wheeler.
Yeah,
congratulations, Paige.
Congratulations, Paige. And just in case none of you know or don't remember, in our March virtual Day of Discovery, Paige has a section called Success Secrets for Your Solex Business. So if you haven't,
video.
Yes, and if you haven't seen it, you can still purchase the virtual Day of Discovery for March for $70 in your Solex University platform. And if you already purchased it, it would probably be a good one to watch again because Paige is really consistent.
On fire.
Yeah, way to go, Paige.
All right, we can also give some stuff away. We have a contest. We had a contest last week, and the question was, what is your best AO scan tip? Now, I'm sure we're gonna get a broad range of answers.
Yes,
So,
because we have a lot of scanners.
yes, and what are we giving away?
We are giving away Cephi dots, boxes of Cephi dots.
I'll let you draw first.
Such a multiple use for
Oh
those
my
Cephi
goodness,
dots.
yes.
I've seen people put them in jewelry. I mean, not just on the body, but yeah, it's
cool.
great. I know. Okay, our first winner, oh my word, this is the same winner as last week.
Oh,
Kathy Berger. My best tip for someone is to be consistent with taking your AO supplements. Blue, Pulse, D3K2, Think, Zymes, Biome, Youth, etc. And do easy scan and get on the hub. I can always tell a difference if I fail to do these in my daily routine. Be consistent, that's good advice. Take care of you so you can take care of others.
Wow, great answer. So many things.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, let's grab one here. I can't seem to grab one. Okay, I think that's one. Hey, this is Just Me Libra. Just Me Libra? Okay, we need to know who you are so we can send you
Call
Cephi
customer
dots.
support and let us know.
My tip is water. Hydrate with the scanner and all other modalities and activities, as all of it is helping you balance, and often that involves some detoxing or flushing of the unwanted. So we need to hydrate. Warren always says that.
Yes.
Hydrating before you scan will actually give you a more accurate reading.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes us more receptive to the energies and helps us flush for true balance. I think Blue and Pulse have some benefits here. The mat, the wand, and scanner, working on the sweet spot with all of these tools. And perhaps most profound is Mind Sync. Ooh, I love Mind Sync.
Me too.
And the mind work we can achieve with all of that. And of course, the wand and scanner boost that water with charging and imprinting it. Mel. Okay, Mel. Well, thank you, Mel. And so many awesome things to include with the scanner.
A lot of great AO scan tips. So if you want to see them all, they are in the last week's call. It's Lauren Morrison. My tip is when you first start learning the AO scan, run accelerated learning in Cephi to help you learn and master the AO scan. What a great idea.
Cool.
Take it slow and ask lots of questions.
Awesome.
That's great advice. I know, I tell people, don't get overwhelmed. There's a lot of information. Just keep playing in it.
Cool. Well, thank you all. We'll send those Cephi dots out to you once we know everyone who won. And let's get on with the rest of the call.
We're going to talk this time about something that is really personal for me, because every morning I get up and I go outside, and no matter what the weather is, for the most part, I walk for a minimum of 10 minutes. And one of the things that I do when I walk is the first thing I do is try to list 5 things that I see. So I look around, and often it's the birds, it's the clouds. If it's a sunny day, it's the sunshine. We have little bunnies in our neighborhood. Sometimes it's a car that passes by, or coming up with spring, a lot of times I like to notice the flowers. So that is where every morning, the first thing I do is make use of my eyes. And you see that the title, this talk, is Windows to the Soul. It was really interesting in researching this information for talking this time, that in surveys online, when people were asked if they had to lose one of their senses, what is the one that they would absolutely not want to lose? And the majority of the time, people said their eyesight. Being able to see the world and see everything that's happening around us is just such a privilege and such a joy. Being able to see the smiles on people's faces, being able to see the views when we're traveling, being able to watch things as far as movies, being able to just every day, just the things that our brain is able to take in because of what we see is just such a valuable sense that we have. And so since we're able to work on our eyes with our scanner, it's really something that is very valuable that we should do on a regular basis. It seems to be one of those things that a lot of times we just take for granted until all of a sudden we start having some problems, or start having it where we have to squint, can't quite see as far, or having a little bit of a trouble as we get older, reading a book and having to get, reader's glasses to be able to see print. And so eyesight is just one of those things that is very, very valuable. And truly, the eyes are the windows to the soul. It affects so much of our health, so much of even our emotional well-being, as we'll see as we go along. So the eyes collect light and information from all around us every day. And then the brain interprets those as a visual image. I thought it was really interesting here where it says the eye is the second most complex organ in the body with over 2 million working parts. I didn't know that until I started doing the research for this talk. 2 million working parts. That's a lot in there that can use support, nutrition, and a lot of help even from being optimized by using the scanner. So the light gets focused, it's converted to signals. Those signals are sent to the brain, and then the brain interprets the signals. So your eyes are the sensory organs that allow you to see. They capture the light and then turn it into a form that your brain uses to create your sense of vision. Your brain doesn't actually have sensory abilities of its own. It's interesting that there's other functions with the eyes, with the tears, keeping the eyes moist and clean, with the muscles around the eyes, moving the eyes so that you're able to focus and able to look in different directions. And then even the eyebrows and the eyelashes having been put in place in order to protect the eyes. There's a lot going on with the eyes that we can support using the scanner. So here's one of the PDFs from the scanner, and you would want to pay particular attention to the parts of the eye and look and see if there was anything that had a 1 or a 9. If you're somebody that's been through the university and you have access to reports, you'll be able to go and see how the eye has possibly got lists for some bacteria, maybe a virus, maybe it's been exposed to some mold or fungus, maybe there's some food sensitivities that are bothering the eye. These are really valuable clues that you can get. And another valuable clue is the emotions. The eyes are more than just something that lets us see. They really are closely connected to our emotional experiences. The connection between emotions and the eyes is rooted in the autonomic nervous system, which regulates bodily functions, including the dilation and contraction of the pupils. So there's a big connection there also between eyes and emotions. Think of how people react to things that they see. Think about when you're watching a movie, and the next time you watch a movie, see how many times in the movie the screenshot in the movie by the director goes to what the person's eyes do. They'll open wide, they'll narrow down suspiciously. All types of things that are associated with emotions get expressed with our eyes. So one of the valuable places that you can go in your scanner and see what might be affecting the eyes from an emotional standpoint is, of course, your inner voice. We've been told over and over and over again how valuable the inner voice is in showing what emotions are bothering the body, how the emotions are affecting other parts of the body. And as we go on, you'll see that those other parts of the body also affect the eyes. So you'll be able to refer back to your inner voice to see what emotions are triggering those parts of the body that affect the eyes, be able to work on the emotions, be able to take the suggestions. When you do the inner voice with the heart that gives the suggestions from running vitals in the background, all kinds of information that you can get that can actually help with the health of the eyes, with the emotions that affect the eyes, and as you'll see, other body parts that also affect the eyes. One of them is the liver. Liver disease can affect the eyes in a lot of ways. It can end up where somebody has yellowing of the eyes, like with jaundice, a dry eye problem. You see people that just constantly have to put eye drops in their eyes because their eyes are dry. Oftentimes this can be associated with the liver. And then there can be other vision problems that also can develop because of problems with the liver. So here again, you would want to connect the dots, and you would want to look at the liver, and you would want to see what is bothering the liver. But then again, you would want to, in your reports, go and see what emotions are associated with the liver, because those emotions can also be affecting the eyes as well. Plus the physical liver can be affecting the eye. So this can give you some really valuable clues on how to help the eyes, how to help with vision problems, how to support the eyes, and at the same time to be helping the different organs that are showing up as possibly needing help in the body that have the effect on the eyes. Another area that can affect the eyes is the adrenal glands. When the adrenals are under stress, there's the release of different hormones. And when different hormones are released, like cortisol, it can cause inflammation of the eyes. You can see somebody where their eyes start to have a lot of bloodshot to them. That can cause blurred vision. Notice here eye strain and increased sensitivity to light due to potential blood vessel constriction and increased intraocular pressure. In fact, the adrenals are responsible for opening and closing the pupil of the eye. So when the body is under stress, a lot of times if somebody is in a really stressful situation, one of the things you can do is take a flashlight and shine it at the eye and see if the eye quickly closes down, and once the flashlight is off, if the pupil quickly opens again. This can be a real sign as to whether or not there's a lot of adrenal stress that is going on that is affecting the eyes. And then that goes back to, well, why are the adrenal stress? Go back to your inner voice, see what is causing the stress in the body, and then go to the other parts of the body that are affected by adrenal stress that also can affect the eyes, such as what we just saw on the liver. So here is your PDF of the adrenals. So here again, you would want to pay attention to where 1s and 9s would be with the adrenals, and then be able to support the adrenals through the different things in your back office as far as supplements, with the inner voice, listening to tones, using MindSync, using the different remedies that are available, and just give support to the adrenals so that this will also help with the eyes, with the eyesight, with the help of the eyes. The spine. The spine can have a massive effect on the eyes. You'll notice here it talks about the upper cervicals. The upper cervicals can impact the eyes because through those cervicals are the nerves that directly connect to them. So it can cause visual disturbances like blurred vision, double vision, sensitivity to light when there's a misaligned subluxation in one of those cervicals, or if there's any damage to the spinal column, any nerve compression, different things going on in the spine can actually reduce the blood flow to the eyes as well, which has a big effect on the oxygen going to the eyes, the nutrients going to the eyes. So the spine is something that you really want to pay attention to as well when it comes to the health of the eyes and the quality of eyesight. So here again is the spine, and you're going to want to pay attention to the whole spine, but pay attention to the C1, C2, down through like C7, right in that area. If you start to see problems with that, go back to your PDF of your eyes and see if there's a problem with the different areas associated with blood flow to the eyes, and see if there's a connection there where somebody may need to go in and have some chiropractic done, some acupuncture, some cranial sacral, some spinal support. In the brain itself, the cerebral cortex is a crucial role in having it where the brain can interpret what is coming through the eyes by receiving and taking the signals from the retina and the optic nerve. So keeping that spine healthy and keeping that brain-eye connection healthy is really, really important. Here again, think about the nutrients that feed the brain. Think about the fact that the brain needs oxygen. You know, one of the things that we have is blue that helps a lot with oxygen to the brain, and pulse that can help with circulation to the brain as well. Omegas can be very, very important. Look through your back office and just do some research into the different things that can support the eyes and the brain, as well as the rest of the body, in order to really value and put a high support for the eyes and eyesight. Here again, you have your cerebral cortex, the slide that shows the function. And when you look at that, you see there's primary visual cortex, visual association area. Up on the top left, there's another one that has to do with vision as well. Look at these areas and see if they're struggling, see if they're needing support, and then go to your reports and see, is it bacteria? Is it viruses? Is it emotion? Is it chemicals? Is it food sensitivities? There's so many different things in those reports that if you look under what the eyes come up for and see if it's high cause or low cause, if it's lowering the function of the eyes or having an inflammatory response in the eyes, then you can track through the rest of the body and see how you can support that precious eyesight. So where do you go from here? Well, I mentioned a few of the things that you can do with your scanner. But think about when you go through how much you could do. With your inner voice, we've already seen that if you can narrow down the emotions that are affecting the body and the emotions that could be affecting the eye, then right there, listening to the tones and helping the brain with balancing those different frequencies, you're going to have a beneficial effect on the eyesight to begin with. Vitals. Vitals has all types of information in it that can give you clues as to eye health. Body systems can help you narrow down the areas that are affecting the eyes and give you really practical suggestions for what can help the eyes. Go down from there. Comprehensive. Go in comprehensive and just deselect all and just run the eyes. And then look at the PDFs for them and then go to the reports and see exactly what is coming up for the eyes, what needs support. Now, once you have that information in comprehensive, you have some really valuable clues that you can then go to your homeoenergetics and use. Think about what we already talked about. If the emotions are affecting the eyes, then how about if you start having somebody use ultimate emotions? Ultimate emotions is the frequencies of all 38 Bach flowers, where the brain can pick and choose out of those frequencies each day in order to specifically help the eyes. Think about where we talked about the liver. If you ran the liver and it showed up as having some issues that could be affecting the eyes, well, then you can go to homeoenergetics and you have the ability to do bacteria detox, chemical detox, heavy metal detox. You've got the ability to support adrenal thyroid support. You're able to have all kinds of different remedies in there that you can use that can help the places that are coming up as affecting the eyes and the eyesight. So that's a very valuable place. And for those of you that have gone through phase 3 and have the ability to customize the homeoenergetics, you'd be able to run the eyes and then have it show you exactly what the top 3 remedies would be for the eyes. And then you could look at the ones that had the proper benefit, the proper stress, and were ideal, and actually imprint them so that they would be customized for the eyes. Dental TMJ. We hadn't spoken about that yet tonight, but it is amazing how much effect the teeth and the TMJ can have on eyesight. I got personal experience with that recently. I had a failed root canal on the top right, and I had been wanting to eliminate any root canals in my mouth. So when this one showed up as needing to be extracted, I went in and had it extracted. And it was really interesting because it was a somewhat complicated extraction. But what happened was about a week later, I was driving home at night, and all of a sudden I had double vision. It was at Christmas time, so there were tons of Christmas lights. And so you can imagine I'm driving at night, and all of a sudden, all of the headlights are double vision, and all of the Christmas lights are double vision. So I'm driving, and I'm like, well, this is cool. So I shut one eye. Oh, it was fine. Shut the other eye, double vision. Turned out that it was on the side that I had the extractions done. So I called my optometrist, and he met me at the office the next day, on his way back from the airport just to make sure that it wasn't a coincidence and that there was something going on with my eyes. And he did all of the tests to make sure that there was not some sudden issue with the retina or with pressure or anything else. And my eyes got a completely clean bill of health. But then he said, go back to your dentist tomorrow and have him check it out. So I went back to the dentist and he checked and everything, there was no infection left. Everything was healing beautifully. But he did note that there were signs of some trauma up in that area, up by the sinus area. And so what it had been doing was putting pressure on the orbit around the eye and making it where on and off I would get double vision. So even with dentistry, I started doing some research, and there are a lot of cases of where people have dental work done, and then for a brief temporary period, their eyesight gets affected. Now, what else could affect eyesight having to do with dental and TMJ? And that's the TMJ. When somebody clenches really hard at night, their back teeth have 500 to 600 pounds of pressure in the back every time they clench. And that pulls on the TMJ, and it also pulls on all the muscles that go back to the C1, C2, C3 in the back. And so somebody that's having TMJ issues can also start to have vision issues because of the clenching. So that's another thing that you could do is run the TMJ program and see if there are a bunch of 1s and 9s. And when you go to the report, it'll give you a clenching report and also have a part of the report that shows what part of the body is being affected, which may very well at times list the eyes. Cephi, there is so much in Cephi that you can do for eyesight. You can look up in homeopathics, homeoenergetics. You can look up your cell salts. You can do playlists for emotions if you're going through a stressful time. You can go back to your vitals. That's another thing I meant to mention. Go back to vitals and do the chakras and do the meridians and see what's coming up with those that might have it where your chakras being your main electrical panel and your meridians being your wires throughout the body. You might find some connections there with the eyes as well. But back to Cephi, we could talk for another half an hour just on all the things that you can look into the Cephi that would make it where you could assist the eyes and improve eyesight. Last but not least, MindSync. It's really interesting. I've been talking to different people and found that there's the distinct possibility with MindSync that if you use positive expressions in MindSync about how your eyesight is just awesome and how your eyesight is as good as when you were in your 20s and how your eyesight is going to 20/20 vision, whatever, that if the nervous system that's in the background that runs your reticular activation system and that determines what's important to you or not important to you kicks in, that's another tool that you can use to frequency-wise and energy-wise encourage the eyesight to go in the right direction. So you have a lot at your fingertips to help with your eyes. Remember that the eyes are the windows to the soul. Value your eyesight, take care of it. Use your scanner to the full in order to help support your eyesight so that for the rest of your life, you can have great eyesight and the windows to your soul will be of benefit to you every single day.
All right, I hope that when you come to these Wednesday night calls, we do them all the time, it seems like every week, almost every week throughout the year, that you're coming hoping to learn something, open to learning something, wanting to seek out something that somebody's presenting to you, but maybe even just something that you're concluding because of some words that were shared. Tonight, on the contest, write down, after the live chat, write in the comments, what is something that you've learned from tonight's call?
Maybe something you heard is something that somebody else missed. It's great to read through those comments too and to see what everyone else, we all hear things differently. So write down, what is something you learned from this call? We're gonna give you one of our new swag items, the Solex sunglasses.
Yeah, I actually love these sunglasses.
I do too, I wear them every day.
You wear them, I wear them. They're a great pair of sunglasses, but they're a great way to brand Solex and get people to, when they comment on your cool sunglasses, you can say, oh, Solex, what's Solex? Okay, let's talk about it. Right? That's a great way to get into any conversation. But comment on the call what's something that you learned. We're going to give away to 3 people the Solex sunglasses.
That's a great, incredible feat.
Yeah.
No. Accomplishment. I didn't want to say feat. Okay.